I'm Jamaican. I'm from a developing country and the wrong side of the tracks in that developing country. So definitely development studies was seen, how do I give back? How do I ensure that the slight crack I got through as a Jamaica Road Scholar, how do I open the door for others behind me?
I was interested in the geographic areas studied in this program. So I was interested specifically in civil wars and conflicts and in sub-Saharan Africa.
To get out of the pure concepts and philosophy that I was looking at for my BA degree, and I thought the development studies degree would be more connected to reality in the real world.
I chose the MPhil, I guess, to give me a grounding in economics, in history, in anthropology, in politics, in the kind of core disciplines that underlie the thinking around development and what development is, in order to give me a foundation for my career, and actually also because the student body was so diverse and international that I also wanted to have that network. And you know what, it's been a great network to have, it still is.
So when I left Oxford, I started working on a multi-year participatory action research study in Sierra Leone, Liberia, and northern Uganda. And then about a year after that, I went into a doctoral program in epidemiology.
I went on to work for the local government initially in Brasilia, in the culture department of all things, which was interesting. But less interesting than my next job after that, which was working as a lobbyist. Which was something I'd never imagined I would do, but actually I learned a lot about how politics works.
My whole raison d'etre started here. I do creative industries development. I studied cultural development here, studying Sanskrit dance theatre and the impact of a UNESCO award on this small community in Kerala, southern India. Right after I actually worked at UNESCO right after on the project that I'd written my thesis on.
When I first graduated from the course, I went straight into working for a UK-based charitable trust. In that role, I was working in Romania, Bulgaria, Macedonia, helping the governments to shift away from large orphanages for children and young people and towards foster care systems, towards social benefits for parents so they weren't having to abandon their children because of poverty.
Along the way, co-founded a think tank with another alum here and was head of creative industries and film commissioner for Jamaica. And then that reignited the whole interest, being on the receiving end of development agencies saying this is how creative industries development should work, knowing very well that as the head of that in Jamaica that it wasn't quite working the way they said it would. So decided to go back and study that.
Moved on to the Foreign Service, which I joined in 2007 and I've been there ever since.
Directly after my PhD, I got this academic job at San Jose State and just got tenure, so here I am.
In my current role, I jointly lead a team of people that think about how to use outcomes-based structures to mitigate some of the limitations of more conventional development funding.
I think the thing I valued the most were the people, so both my students, peers at the time, and the faculty, just feeling like they brought a world of knowledge and expertise and backgrounds, and then they, especially my peers, have gone on to do just such interesting work, and so having that kind of network across the globe is really, really impactful for me.
Critical thinking and doing it with rigor. So if in my BA I was taught to think creatively and critically, the Oxford system, and especially development studies, continues to encourage that kind of critical and creative thinking, but with an extra layer of rigor.
With undergrad in the States, I learned the value of a discipline, but life and particularly development, which taps into all different facets of a person's life experience and their choice. Development, I don't think, can be well studied from one disciplinary point of view, and that was the big attraction to come into QE.
The staff, the teaching faculty were amazing. Definitely intimidating sometimes, but amazing. I learned a lot from them. But actually, I really can genuinely say that I think I learned as much from my peers and my classmates as I learned from the staff.
Oh my gosh, I've been flooded with memories since setting foot in Oxford. I think my favorite memories are mostly social, which were all intellectual too. I felt like just the opportunities to have dinner every night with friends and then debrief about what we were working on and rowing.
The paper had to be in by 12, so my regular Friday run in my pajamas from Jesus College to St. Giles Road.
So many. I would say the social life here at St. Anthony's. We happen to be here at St. Anthony's right now, and this was my college. I spent 2 very intense years of my life here. I made some of my very best friends that I have until today.
I think it's got to be, this isn't particularly academic, I think it's got to be punting from Wolfson. I had a lot of friends who were based at Wolfson during the time they were doing the MPhil, and yeah, we had some really fun punting trips up the river in the summer. It was lovely.